too late. Now family, we the ones who gotta delegate. Get that money in the power, never be fake. Stick to cosign for 3. What did he say? Create jobs, support our own. Educate the same and buy back your home. Got 3 degrees, triple 10. 3 PhDs, now we on the CNN. DBTV, let's talk about negligence. Ignorance is bliss, but we can turn it to intelligence. Believe none of what you hear, half of what you see. Let's break it down here on Dr. Boyce TV. Here we are.
Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins from Your Black World and the Black Business School, and I want to say hello very quickly. I wanted to start off today by doing our Black Business Shoutout. As you guys know, in the Black Business School, we are giving free advertising to Black-owned businesses. And so if you want to get free advertising for your Black-owned business, all you have to do is follow the Black Business School on Instagram. It's the Real Black Business School. I'll put an @ symbol and give you guys the link in the description of this video as I put it on Instagram, stuff like that. Also, if you love to support Black-owned businesses and you want to back up some of the companies that are being built in the Black Business School, we have thousands of students that are starting businesses. And, if you want to support and buy Black and stuff like that, there are hundreds and hundreds of Black-owned businesses that pop up on our platform every single day. So you can go there and check them out and show your love. So the business I want to mention now is a business by a brother that I met today. And I'm actually going to talk a little bit about what I did today. I was down in the south side of Chicago meeting with my attorney to talk about my estate plan. And actually, that was the thing that inspired me to kind of talk to you today. That plus another little interesting thing I saw with Joe Biden. And when I was down there talking to my attorney about my estate plan, I bumped into a brother when I was putting money in the parking meter. The brother's name was Chris McDonald. And I'm going to just tell y'all the truth. I know you're so mad at me for this, but I was so inspired by this brother's story that I at first I did the whole elbow bump. I had my mask on, COVID, you want to keep a distance from people. But you know what? This brother's story inspired me so much that I gave him a hug after. I said, you know what, man, just come here. Give me a hug. I couldn't help it. I had to show him some love because I just feel like some things are just, I don't know, my desire to connect with my people is greater than my fear of death. I'll just have to confess on that. But anyway, this brother, his name's Chris McDonald, and Chris was telling me about his company. His company's called Bria Janitorial, BriaJanitorial.com, Southside Chicago, BRIA Janitorial.com. And it's a Black-owned business, of course. And he said, we bumped into each other, and he said, yeah, I was just listening to your podcast this morning, or just a few minutes ago. And I was like, really? Oh, cool. And he told me what it was about and everything. I said, oh, wow, that's great. That he follows every day. And then he was also telling me about, his story of his mother, because I had told a story about my mother and how my mother gave birth to me when she was all alone. Like, nobody was there. Like, nobody, they dropped her off at the hospital and picked her up. I said, was my dad there? She said, no. My biological father, I never knew the man very well. My stepfather is the one who raised me. That's when I talk about my father, that's what I'm talking about. I didn't know much about my biological father. He died a couple of years ago. And he said that he told me that his grandmother pistol whipped his mom when she found, I could have sworn that I said pistol whip? I heard pistol whip. Like his mom got pistol whipped when they found out she was pregnant. Now, I don't know, Chris, if you're watching, man, if I got the story wrong, brother, I apologize. But I couldn't believe it. I said, whoa, she pistol whipped? She got pistol whipped? When she, and it just pisses me off because, motherhood is a blessing, man. Mothers are a gift from God. Mothers are the most important human beings in our society. And so, to this idea that we will dog somebody out because they had a baby or they had a baby at a time where you didn't think it was appropriate, I just think that's crazy to me. I think it's ridiculous. So anyway, shout out to Chris McDonald. His business is BriaJanitorial.com. He named his business after his daughter, Bria. And I just think that's really awesome. And I think I was just in a whole mood today because I was actually going to see my lawyer to do estate planning. And the thing about estate planning that I know that some people listen to me, some people don't, but I really want to encourage you. I talked to my lawyer for hours about everything, just kind of laying everything out because I don't have a fear of death. I really don't. I don't. Because we're all going to die, right? Everybody's, running around scared of death, but I don't know what you're scared of. I don't know what you're running from. Death's going to catch up with you. You cannot outrun the Grim Reaper, ever. And the thing is that, I see your physical life is really just a fraction of your whole existence. It's the beginning of your true legacy, So it's like Martin Luther King was alive for that long, but his legacy lasted, much, much longer than that. So I just want to kind of help you kind of think of it that way. That's how stocks are valued, actually. The people were asking me earlier, and I did a video about it, like, why is the stock market taking off? when the economy's so bad? I said, well, because the economy's bad for a moment. The world is sad for a moment. Things are tough for a moment. But the stock market is not looking at a moment. The stock market is looking 50, 100 years into the future. The stock market is looking decades and decades into the future. So it doesn't, the pricing on the stock market is not reflective entirely of what's happening right now. It's impacted a little bit, but that's not the whole story. That's only maybe 5-10% of the story. The other 90-95% is all the stuff that's going to happen. So when I was doing my estate planning, that's what I was thinking about. I said, you know what? I feel like my death will just be the beginning of the Boyce Watkins story. Like, that's what I wanted. I said, I want to make sure my estate is tight. I want to make sure everything's clear. I want to make sure my black woman is taken care of, that she knows how to get into the accounts. You check this out, y'all. For real, I need y'all to listen to me for a minute. He was telling me that $10 billion a year gets given to the government because a lot of our people don't even tell their loved ones how to get into the account. Like, you don't even put a beneficiary on your bank account. So your girlfriend, spouse, wife, husband is in the crib and they got to go pay the bills. They're already sad from your death, because death happens whenever it's going to happen. You don't get advance notice when you're going to die most of the time, in many cases. And so when death occurs, people aren't prepared. And so people, not only do you have the stress of death, but you also have the stress of not being able to pay the rent, because they can't even get into your bank account to get the money. They don't even know where your policies are. And my lawyer was telling me, he said, you'd be amazed how many lawyers make all their money just from people that made no plans for their death. They make all their money sitting in probate court. They make all their money sitting sorting out assets. People will come in and they'll say, yeah, I know my dad had a life insurance policy, but I don't know where it is. And they'll be like, I don't know how to go get it. I don't know where, like people don't know, right? So you got to tell them. So I just encourage you to do that. It's not fun to talk about death all the time, but actually it was kind of fun. It was fun talking about, estates and trusts and letting everybody know in my family, like, what it's going to be if something happens. And the number one goal, if you ask me what my main goal is when it comes to estate planning, it is continuity. I just want continuity. I just want to make sure that the day after I'm gone, you can continue to move forward as if you could the day before I was gone. Right, so that's my 2 cents on that. Take it for what you like. It is what it is. Can you put a beneficiary in your bank account? Yes, you can. So tell your bank who you want to be your beneficiary in your stock portfolio, your investment accounts, or whatever. You can put a beneficiary in all of that, and give the passwords and stuff to somebody that you trust and love, or put them on a piece of paper or something, so that somebody can know just where your life is at. Think about it. I want you to sit back one day and think about all the things about your life that exist that only you know about. All the things that get done only because you're doing it. Things that would not get done if you were not here, right? Imagine if somebody kidnapped you right now and took you away and you could never come back and resolve, unresolved issues or close loose ends. What would your life look like? So just, look into that. So anyway, so that's the Black Business Shout Out. Chris McDonald from BriaJanitorial.com. Also, we're advertising black businesses for free on the Black Business School Instagram page. So just follow us on Instagram if you either support black businesses or you have a black business you want to market. It's the Real Black Business School. A couple more businesses I'll mention are Certified Woman Benevolent, is a certified life coach and owner of the brand benevolentwoman.com. Another one is Skimna skincare products, Skemna. You might want to change that name because that's a tough name for people to remember. Skimna products. We provide consumer products for melanated people, such as essential oils, lotions, butters, hair oil, cologne, men's ties, etc. The Noble Report. There's another business here, thenoblereport.com. THE, the Noble, NOBLE, thenoblereport.com. So feel free to follow the Black Business School on Instagram. I'll put the at information in the description of the video, so you can follow the Black Business School if you want to support black businesses, or we'll do a Black Business Shout Out, and you can put the information from your business in the comments, and I'll mention your business for free on the podcast. One more thing I want to mention is that besides the importance of estate planning, is I saw this really interesting video from Joe Biden. I don't know if anybody saw that. Tell me if you saw that. I put it on my Instagram, my personal Instagram page, which is The Real Boyce Watkins. And it was this interesting short little video where Joe Biden basically says, that black people are not diverse. He says, unlike African Americans, Latino people are very diverse. Did anybody give me a yes or no in the comments if you saw that? Let me know if you saw that video. It was the craziest thing I ever saw. It really made me wonder if he's losing his mind. It was a reminder that this man literally does not care, and he absolutely positively is just a loose cannon, and that's why they don't let him talk, because they want you to elect him first, and then you'll find out that he's crazy. Once he gets in the White House, then we'll find out that our president has dementia. I think it's a Ronald Reagan situation. If you recall, Ronald Reagan lost it while he was in the White House. He too had dementia, or he had dementia. I'm not going to say Biden does or doesn't, but his behavior is very, very questionable. And they just had to hide him. They had to keep him from speaking. They had to get him off the stage as quick as possible. I don't know how Biden's going to handle it. I really don't. But anyway, but what was fascinating about that comment was that, some people actually said, they made a good point. They said, actually, what he said is not untrue, that it is true. Black people, maybe we don't have as much diversity as we should have. Maybe we don't respect diversity as much as we should. Maybe we don't allow people to be diverse, right? I mean, think about this. Anytime somebody comes along and says something different or decides they don't want to be a Democrat, right? We're calling them coons. We're attacking them. We're beating them up. I've never really got into the Democrat-Republican thing. I told you that if you want to know who I'm voting for the. I used to say I'm voting for the Marcus Garvey Malcolm X ticket, but instead I think I'm gonna vote for the Dr. Claude Anderson Vicky Dillard ticket. So when I go to the polls, I ain't voting for Democrats or Republicans. I'm going to write in my candidate. I'm going to write in Dr. Claude Anderson for president and Vicky Dillard for vice president. So when you ask me, what am I going for? I'm going for AD. Anderson Dillard. That's going to be the ticket I'm voting for. I'm not voting for Biden. I'm not voting for Trump. I'm not voting for none of that. You're not going to back me into nothing that I don't want to do. And so, I think that there's something to be said about, obviously, Joe Biden. Joe Biden is really very telling for you. Like Joe Biden, crazy people be telling you the truth. You just don't want to hear it, right? Because crazy people are crazy enough to actually speak what's really going on. And Joe Biden's really doing you a favor, actually, with his behavior. What Joe Biden's doing for you is he's testing you. He's testing your boundaries. He's literally trying his absolute best to defame and to attack and to, humiliate you and disrespect you on as many levels as he possibly can. Because remember, he had that whole thing like, if you don't vote for me, then you ain't black, stuff like that. And and we will still show up and vote for him. Like Joe Biden could literally come out and say, I think the KKK is a good organization, and maybe we should put more black people in prison. And maybe we should abort more black babies, right? I think Joe Biden could say things like that, and I think that people would still say, well, what you gonna do? Go vote for Trump? Or what you gonna do? And it's fascinating because it's a fascinating reflection of how many of us feel that we don't have a choice. It's a reflection of the fact that we really think we got to pick one or the other, right? We got to either get raped by person A or raped by person B. And I just really kind of think at the end of the day, we have to kind of ask ourselves, like, how low do they have to go? Like, how far do they got to push the envelope before we kind of say, yeah, like I saw T.I. on a BET video that Alicia showed me, where he was telling black folks to vote, right? Get out there and vote, get in the booth, bust a rap, like he's making it very hip hoppy and whatever. That's what, because black people respond to hip hop, because apparently we don't respond to anything else. I don't know if that's what people think, but anyway, he was telling black people to go vote, and I was like, you know what? Maybe it's wrong for me to even tell you guys that I don't plan to vote. So here's what I'm going to do. I asked Alicia. I said, I don't know the rules of politics exactly. I got to research this, but I said, if I go to the polls, I don't have to vote for Trump or Biden, right? So I said, okay, so maybe what we can do is we can say, look, I'm going to vote. I am going to vote. We should all vote, but I'm not voting for Joe Biden. I'm not voting for Donald Trump. I'm going to vote third party, or I'm going to write in the Dr. Claude Anderson Vicky Dillard ticket. So there you go. So if you want to know who I'm voting for Dr. Claude Anderson for president and Vicky Dillard for vice president, or they can swip it around, right? We don't want to be sexist, right? Because Vicky's a very smart lady, and that's going to be my ticket. That's who I'm voting for. So let's rock the vote, and we're going to vote for the Anderson Dillard ticket because they've shown consistently how much they love black people. And you may or may not like Vicky. You may or may not like Dr. Anderson. That's beside the point. I'm not telling you what to do. All I'm going to say is that's who I'm supporting, and that's who I want to be in the White House. So there you go. So now you can't say Dr. Boyce ain't voting no more. Dr. Boyce is going to vote. He's just going to vote for whoever the fuck he wants to vote for, because I'll be damned if some old raggedy old man like Joe Biden is going to just pee on me every other day and then somehow be convinced that I am so weak and so pathetic and so stupid that I'm going to keep supporting somebody who has a 40, 50-year track record of showing me how much he does not like me. I am not that weak. I'm not that pathetic. I'm just not going to do it. Now, you remember, I live in Illinois. Illinois is a blue state anyway, so they're probably, the Democrats got Illinois. What they need me for, right? But I'll just say that, at the end of the day, you got to ask yourself, what are your boundaries? I think that's the key question for black people, and only you can answer this question for yourself. Is what are your boundaries? What are your deal breakers? Right? It's like a relationship. You know, how much does somebody have to disrespect you in a relationship before you say, you know, I can't do this no more, right? Is there no point where they can do? I mean, I don't know. Maybe you're a person where they could beat you, steal from you, try to kill you, and you'll still stay loyal to that person. Well, in that case, some people would say that you maybe have a self-love issue, right? That maybe you have a self-esteem issue. A self-esteem issue is driven by this idea that if I can't be with you, then nobody will want me, right? Or they'll say, well, you know, that's what abusers do. Abusers say, well, if you leave me, ain't nobody gonna want your ass. Look how fat you are. You ugly. You wrinkled now. You got gray hair. You used to look good, but now you done put on 40 pounds. Who gonna want you? You got 3 kids. You ain't got no money. You can't pay the bills without my help, right? And in a way, that's kind of the rhetoric that you really get when you're talking about the relationship between black people and the Democratic Party. That their relationship is, well, if without us, you gonna have Donald Trump, and then what you gonna do? Without us, how you go? You don't vote, you don't count. So without us, how you gonna do this? How you gonna do that? You have no voice without us. Well, no, I would just say this. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I want to repeat that 1,000 times because people are so threatened by free ideas in the black community. Because remember, Joe Biden's right. Black people don't have the diversity that we deserve to have. So people get threatened by new ideas. I tend to be a believer in open thinking. I'm not threatened if you disagree with me. I'm just going to tell you what I think. You tell me what you think. And then we're all better because your ideas plus my ideas equal more ideas. But if I beat you down and force your ideas to become my ideas, then we've just got one idea, which means ultimately we've traded the beauty of heterogeneity, the beauty of diversity, and exchanged that for the constraints of uniformity. Remember, unity is not the same as uniformity, right? Being together does not mean that you are the same. Being unified does not mean that you have to be like the Star Trek cyborgs and share the same brain, right? So at the end of the day, I think you got to ask yourself, you know, what are your boundaries? What are your deal breakers? How far are you willing to go, you know, with this guy? I mean, what else does he need to say that'll make it to before you say, you know what, you know, yeah, I don't want Trump in office, but really, at this point, I'm having a hard time even knowing what the difference is. You know, I had a black president, and that was really cool, but, you know, he's still around. Like, if I still want to idolize and worship Barack Obama, he's still on Twitter and stuff. He still gives speeches. There's still old speeches I can go watch if I need an injection of self-esteem or a black pride, or if I just think Obama's really a handsome man, right? Because, you know, a lot of ladies thought he was handsome. That's okay. That's cool. Nothing wrong with that, right? But does he need to be in the White House for me to feel better about the world? Or maybe there are ways that, you know, that black people can contribute without necessarily getting validation from white people, right? So I think that we have to process that, and I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just telling you to think outside the box. So let me shout out a couple more black businesses. Like I said, if you want your black business to get shouted out for free on my podcast, we are doing, in the Black Business School, we're doing free advertising for black-owned businesses. Our students come first. So if you want to follow the Black Business School on Instagram, just look up The Real Black Business School. I'll put the link in the comments of this video, and we want to just support you and help you make money, help you succeed. So here's another business, Mini Heat RC Worldwide, founded by an African-American mortician in Jackson, Florida, is a multicultural radio-controlled drag racing company that services drag races of every color. How about that? I ain't never heard nothing like that. So Mini Heat, Mini Heat. So you can look that up. They just have a hashtag here. Kamal Supreme says, recently many of our children have asked questions like, why do they hate us because of our dark skin? My answer is, your power is in your melanin. So his website is lulu.com, LULU.com. And he's got a whole link here. I don't see what else is. I can't recite all this online. So get a URL that I can recite, that I can actually say on the air. So when you put in your business, put a URL that I can actually say, and people can go follow it and check you out. Also, if you want to support black businesses, just follow The Real Black Business School on Instagram. Last but not least, don't forget that tomorrow night, which is Friday, August 7th, we're going to do the Black Stock Market Weekend. So if you want to dig in and learn, basically I put together an 11-step process for picking stocks for your portfolio. That's what we're going to cover the whole weekend. So we're going to meet Friday, Saturday, Sunday. By Monday, you will be transformed into somebody who's very, very comfortable with investing. You'll level up your game. You'll have access to the content for the rest of your life. And for one membership, you can bring your whole family, bring your cousins, bring your kids, bring whoever. So if you're interested, join us at blackstockmarketweekend.com. That's blackstockmarketweekend.com. So I will see you guys at the Black Stock Market Weekend. Hit the thumbs up button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button before you go. God bless you. And again, Whether you're Democrat, Republican, tall, short, fat, thin, rich, poor, educated, uneducated, I love you and I want to see you win. So do not think that your opinions being different from mine means that I don't hate you. In fact, the more different you are from me, the more I want to hear from you, because I know that everything I say ain't right and I need diversity of perspective. Diversity is what keeps you going. That's what keeps you alive. That's what keeps you growing. That's what makes you better. So be diverse, black people. Don't, remember Joe Biden said that, but sometimes crazy people are right. Sometimes crazy people say stuff about you that you don't want to hear, but those things are actually more true than something someone else would tell you. So stop lying to yourself and just confess. Yeah, we need to be more diverse. So maybe there's something we can learn from that comment. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Hit the thumbs up button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button. I'll see you soon. Have a good day. Talk to you later. Peace.
Here we are, clan the isms, cataclysm, great. Our people out here struggling, trying to make it in this state. Everybody out here doing it, but we the ones who late. Now family, we the ones who gotta delegate. Get that money in the power, never be fake. Stick to cosign for 3. What did he say? Create jobs, support our own. Educate the same and buy back your home. Got 3 degrees, triple 10. 3 PhDs, now we on the CNN. DBTV, let's talk about negligence. Ignorance is bliss, but we can turn it to intelligence. Believe none of what you hear, half of what you see. Let's break it down here on Dr. Boy's TV.